What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Now, by popular demand, I am now going to go into different type of situations that present to us as we grow, and just an ideology on what to do and what not to do. This one has to do with credit cards. Do not do that. Okay? One of the things you do not do is the letters you receive in the mail. If you're receiving credit card letters in the mail with cards with them, do not throw them away. Now, I know with this misconception, a lot of us, especially in the African American community, have not been educated on what to do with these things. When you receive that, what has happened is that company has done a soft pull on your credit. So what they've done is check your credit, and they said, listen, this person's credit's adequate, and they're basically competing for your business. All right. It is very, very important if you are a college student, if you're in school, if you're doing any type of thing and you're in your late teens to early young adulthood, you keep all of these letters. Now, we'll get into the particular ones I believe you should open, but it is direly important you do not throw these away. I didn't learn this. No one told me it. I didn't have no one around to coach me up to this, and I'm beginning to do this for my viewers that are age about 18 to 25. This is part of what I'm doing because I always have to add value to my channel as well as the entertainment parts. Do not throw this away. Don't do that. You don't want to do that, because what you're going to end up doing is throwing these away. There's a lot of things that are going to come up: college, loans, bills, and we're going to get into all of that. But you do not want to throw that away. Matter of fact, the first car you get, and we're going to talk about the different types here further on. I might even do a live today talking about it. I have to see how time permits. But you do not want to throw this away. These cards are your starter. Listen, America runs on credit. So you receiving credit information and you utilizing it very much so is key. This is going to be key to the mid to later years of your life, trust me. So when you're receiving these credit cards, the first thing you want to do is read them. You want to read the APR. You want to read whether it has an annual fee. You want to read whether there's cash back. You want to read whether there's discounts by buying certain things with the card. Yes, there are certain cards that will allow discounts if you use it for food, if you use it for gas, food/groceries, if you use it to get certain gas at certain places. You need to read it, because if you're doing this, this card will become your best ally. And here's another thing with credit cards. Always keep it under 10%. That is the golden rule. Keep it under 10%. Now, why do I say that? Is because at the end of the month, when they report your card, that is how you get positive markings. Credit cards are 30% of your credit, and it's considered revolving credit. This is very key. These are things that they don't teach you in school, things that you can't understand or figure out later on. You have to understand this. When you see someone with a lot of credit cards, what I remember is that when that would be the case, people would seem to joke on them. Honestly, at that time, if you seen someone with credit cards and they had a lot and they knew what I'm saying, those are the people that aren't funny at all today, because they're accomplishing left and right. So that's not a joke. Don't ever take that lightly. Keep it under 10% and always use your credit cards, then pay off with them. Don't ever take that per se for something that's not authentic. You do not want to throw those type of letters away. You always want to keep those letters around, and you want to collect them as much as possible. You don't ever want to play with it. Trust me, that is not something you want to do. I'm telling you, these are the things, especially if you're a late year teenager to early adulthood. Do not do that. Don't take your time and don't play with it like that. So I'm trying to tell you guys that credit cards, when it comes to credit cards, This is essential. This is an essential part of what it is you're looking to do. This is very important. And another thing I want to put out there, when you're dealing with it and keeping it under 10%, you're going to see as it gets reported at the end of the month, your credit score is going to increase gradually. And if you've made a mistake and you're trying to look how to progress, there are programs such as Capital One that allow you to get your credit back in revolving good status. So you want to look at what you're receiving because these companies can help. There's other credit cards, but Capital One's one of the most noted ones that have a program. And if you can't get approved for a credit card now, you want to find one where you put money down. Now, here's my thing. You want to take these opportunities with banks and stuff that maybe have a odd name like Sky or something, because they give you massive boost as you match what their company and status goals are. So they'll give you more reward for the struggle that you fight through. And here's the thing. You're going to say a credit union, a bank, it's okay to have one with them. But basically see it that that's basic. So anyone can have a bank credit card. You're looking for the other ones that have large rewards. The bigger reward you go for and you do well with the program, the stronger your credit's going to be. Don't ever give up the opportunity of a credit card. See, that's one of the biggest mistakes that have been made in our culture and society. You must always find time to utilize a credit card. You don't ever want to operate without a credit card. People think cash is better, but it's not at all. It is not at all. Credit's where it's at because good credit will always allow you to have cash. What we're going to talk about in the next installment is credit scores. So this is simply about credit cards. If you haven't learned anything, I'll run down the 3 main things you need to know. Number 1, don't ever throw away the letters you receive offering opportunity to receive credit. Number 2, always keep your credit card under 10%. Meaning if I have $200 of a credit limit, I want it under $20 at least before the next month rolls in. You got to keep it under that. That's how they mark it. That's what gives you the good mark. Under 10%. And number 3, when using these credit cards, see what rewards they give you for using them for certain things. You could have a Capital One credit card that gives you cash back for using it for gas. Or you can have a Sky credit card that if you use it for stays in a hotel, that it gives you cash back. Or you could have another credit card. You see there's many different things they do. So see credit as a game that helps you gain off of your persona, your name, and what it is you aim to accomplish. This is direly important. Don't ever take it light. Don't ever play with it. We got a lot to talk about. So, I mean, as we go forward, you're going to really get to know the insight. From month to month, there could be plans where a credit card will increase your limit dramatically just for you having 5 to 6 months of good payments. These are things you need to look at when you're receiving these letters. Do not do that. Don't throw them away. Don't throw them away. I've spoken to a lot of younger people on my journey, and since then, the ones that didn't throw them away, their credit is becoming magnificent. I mean, I was shocked. I was like, wow, what a drastic increase. They're slowly realizing the true ability of credit. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If you really need to do something and you can't get credit, get a secure credit card. That means put money down, get it, and work from there. That is how you build yourself back into position. Put the 200 down, put the 50 down, whatever you got to put down, get the credit card, use it, keep it under 10%. This stuff was not expressed to me. I was never taught this. No school taught it. Not really any person taught it. I had to learn it firsthand. That was one of the biggest problems that I've dealt with in life, my earlier life, especially going through school. Don't ever go without the knowledge. They're not going to teach you. They're not going to help you do it. But doing it this way will prevent you from getting in situations involving debt. It really will. This is your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved, coming to you with a public service announcement. Keep your credit cards.